shooting. We're looking for shot.
And frankly, we also have to do something about the algorithms of the social networks. This is a big challenge.
Jesus returned to the Mount of Olives, but early the next morning he was back again at the temple. A crowd soon gathered, and he sat down and taught them. As he was speaking, the teacher of religious law and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in the act of adultery. They put her in front of the crowd. "Teacher," they said to Jesus, "this woman was caught in the act of adultery. The law of Moses says to stone her. What do you say?" They were trying to trap him into saying something they could use against him, but Jesus stooped down and wrote in the dust with his finger. They kept demanding an answer. So he stood up again and said, "All right, but let the one who has never sinned throw the first stone." Then he stooped down again and wrote in the dust. When the accusers heard this, they slipped away one by one, beginning with the oldest, until only Jesus was left in the middle of the crowd with the woman. Then Jesus stood up again and said to the woman, "Where are your accusers? Didn't even one of them condemn you?" "No, Lord," she said. And Jesus said, "Neither do I. Go and sin no more." I think that's a super powerful verse, guys. Now, I know opening up with a Bible verse, okay? I know some of you guys may not be religious, that's fine, I apologize, but this is a very prevalent thing to me right now because there's something that happened to me. You guys may have been wondering why I haven't been here. Well, one, I've been very, very busy. I'll explain that. But also, two, just been dealing with a lot of really humanly humanly things and spiritual things. I mean, just a spiritual battle in general. I'm not going to dive into it, right? But I remember reading that verse the day before I found out something, okay? And I read that verse, and it's so beautiful because it encompasses what Jesus came and did. You know, he died on the cross for our sins. But this woman, they brought this woman there that had committed a sin, had committed adultery, right? And they wanted to stone her. And Jesus said, "All right, well, the one who hasn't sinned can stone her." And everyone left the room because everyone there had sinned. No one there was perfect. No one's perfect. And it's such a perspective passage right there. It gives you perspective on life. It's we can complain about this, we can shun these people, we can get mad at this person, we can, hate this person, but we ourselves are not perfect by any means. We have all messed up throughout our life, we have all sinned, we have all done bad things, and I just think that's so beautiful. There's times where I think perspective allows us to be a little bit more sad because we can realize things, right? But I also think that with that perspective, if we're able to overcome that sadness that we feel at times, that stress, that heavy weight that we feel because we realize things that most others don't, right? Once we overcome that, that's what builds our characters. That's what develops us as human beings to be able to be the people that people come to for help, to be the leaders, to be the pillars of our community. I'm inspired, and I just urge you guys to just open up the Bible and just read a little bit. Read John a little bit. I think John's a great opening chapter. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world today, guys. A lot of bad stuff. And we can talk politics, we can talk policy, we can talk left and right, like that's ever worked. But it all comes down to a battle of good and evil. And what the Bible and what God is all about is a battle of good versus evil. Our moral goods and our moral evils. If you look at the way the world is trending right now, there's a lot of people waking up to this, right? But still, there's just so much bad stuff happening, right? There's also a lot of good stuff. Okay, I mean, that's something we have to realize. And every human has good in them. The people that act out in evil they've been, essentially possessed. They've been inherited by evil. It's been really hard for me to stay silent on a lot of things. One, because you speak out on these things and immediately it's a left versus right issue. And that's just not the case, okay? And I'll state my political views. I am a conservative, okay? I lean right, okay? I'm not a Republican. I don't like to call myself that. I believe in conservative values that got us to where we are today, that allowed our nation to become the best nation on the world, the best country to ever exist. I believe in the values that got us here, okay? However, I see that the view and the perception of what Republicans are has been skewed by people that are in power, right? People that I voted for, right? And then the Democrats, and if you're a Democrat, it's okay, that's fine. I actually believe, I agree with a lot of things Democrats say. However, I think that a lot of liberals and people that follow the Democratic agenda are kind of dumb, okay? And I'm not saying you're dumb, but I'm just saying a lot of people are because you listen to what the news tells you. But the right does the same thing. Republicans do the same thing. They listen to exactly what Fox News tells them. okay? And if you start to get away from mainstream media and stop listening to what these news platforms funded by billionaires are telling you to believe, you'll start to have your own direction of thought. And I'd argue that that is what makes us as Americans, us as people so great, is we are independent thinkers, we're able to think. We're getting away from that, and that's why our country is going to shit right now. It's because we're getting away from the independent thought. So yeah, quit listening to what these news channels tell you. They're not telling you stuff to help you. They're telling you what the billionaires want them, because how do they get their money? Billionaires send them money. Big Pharma sends them money, okay? If a medicine's bad, they're not going to tell you, because guess who's giving them all the money? The guys who make the medicine, right? Come on, guys. Wake up. All right, sorry. I'm still unemployed, okay? That's why I can sit here at 11 a.m. and just talk about this kind of stuff. So nothing's changed, guys. Nothing's changed. It makes me feel better, though. Anyways.
And you're gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch, girl, but it's gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. Say money won't get you too far.
Alright guys, so let's do a little experiment, okay? One of my favorite lessons I've ever learned from a man named Virgil Abloh. I'm probably doing his name wrong. He was a good friend of Kanye West. He was like a fashion guy, just a very creative person. He was, I guess you could say, a modern day art philosopher. He thought a lot about how creativity works and how to harness our creative powers, which I love that kind of stuff. I love thinking about that. So, let me clear off my workspace real quick for my Colts 2006 Super Bowl championship ball. Go Colts, by the way. Let's take this paint holder for a roller, okay? I don't know, I think that's what it's called, but this is where you put your roller for your paint. Okay, I'll grab, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Put it in there, that's why there's paint in there, right? So I put it in here, doesn't look like much, it's a garage, right? You probably see this, you're probably like, Isaac, why aren't you cleaning up your desk? Like, why do you got paint stuff sitting around, right? Exactly. If I was to walk into an all-white room and put this table in the middle of the room, put some good lights around it, and put this on the table exactly like such with nothing around it, it'd be considered a piece of art. Why? Not because the object changed, not because this changed, it's the same thing, it's a paint tray, it's the same exact thing. What changed? The room around it. So this lesson, right, and let me get it verbatim, let me grab my phone, okay? Sorry, I didn't come prepared, guys, but so the lesson that Virgil tried to teach, right, was we can either spend our time designing and developing the piece at hand, or the paint tray, getting a call, great timing. Or we can spend the time designing the room that surrounds it. And I'd argue that designing the room around it is a lot more powerful than just that itself. And it's a lot easier to change your surroundings and change where you're putting something than it is to come up with something entirely new. So just think about that. Let it marinate in your mind for a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Trump is getting the silent treatment.
I've never walked into a room so silent before.
The nation's top military brass stood at attention. No applause, no cheers, in fact, no reaction whatsoever.
I hate social media, and I hate the media, because if the guy that was saying that, or the guy that wrote that, would just go outside and touch grass, or maybe get the balls to enlist in the military, right? They'd understand that when someone of a higher rank walks into a room, you stand at attention and you don't say anything, okay? It's dead silent. It's rendering proper respect, which I don't fucking like. I never liked standing up for another person and treating them like God. However, that is just a standard in the military. It was a standard in the Marine Corps. It's a standard across the military. That's what the generals are doing. But the Democrats, oh man, they were all quiet. No one clapped for them. No shit. It's a bunch of generals standing up for the President of the United States at attention. You don't clap at attention. You don't move. Go to boot camp, some of y'all. Okay. But I just shit on the Democrats, now I get to shit on the Republicans too, okay? So this government shutdown, right? This government shutdown that's happening right now, okay? You know, you have the Democrats pointing at the Republicans, you have the Republicans pointing at the Democrats, right? The government has shut down because the Democrats and Republicans couldn't agree on terms. So because of their own arrogance and their own egos, right, and their own agendas, they're willing to let the government of the United States of America shut down, thus putting people who work in the federal government to support the daily things we do on a daily basis, putting their lives, their financial being at risk. If this government shut down, it's nothing new. The government shut down before. But if it doesn't make you realize that no one in the government cares about us, they just care about beating the other side, then I don't know what will. Because they let the government shut down because they couldn't agree. And you can argue the Democrats aren't agreeing for this, which they should. Okay, the Republicans are doing the exact same thing. They're not agreeing for their own reasons, okay? People can't even make compromises nowadays. It's just bickering back and forth and trying to beat the other side. Why don't we have Republicans and Democrats sit down with a whiteboard, draw some graphs, all right, and actually articulate problems and break down the best solutions. Oh wait, because we can't, because they're just being funded by billionaire people who have agendas of their own. It makes me hate our government. I cannot stand our government. Our government does not care about us at all. Democrat nor Republican, they do not care about us. I can get way more political too if you guys want me to, but I'm not gonna go there right now. This is just my first video. Yeah. My camera cut off right there, but one of my biggest pet peeves is when I'm in a classroom and people that don't have anything going on that important start zipping up their bags and packing their stuff up like 10 minutes early and making a bunch of noise. I hate the sound of zippers, and it's just so inconsiderate. It shows that people don't give a fuck about other people. So yeah, class is done though. My brain's fried. I usually understand what's going on. I didn't understand what was going on today, so it's just gonna progressively get worse as the class goes on, which is just phenomenal news. Yeah, I don't feel so smart today. I feel really dumb again. So I'm gonna get some Chipotle though before my workout, which is kind of strange, but I want to do it anyway. So let's go. What's up, man? Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Me and my wife got very homeless. We had lost our apartment last month. And we've been living at the Motel 6 over here by Best Buy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this evening we ran into trouble. And we're 13 short on our room, and they won't let us stay.
Do you have like a Cash App or anything?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Can I do that?
Yes, anything
Yeah.
would help.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Capital J.
Sorry, hold on a second. $, capital J.
Yeah. O-H.
O-H.
N-N-Y.
N-N-Y.
B-O-I-I.
B-O-I-I.
5555.
5555. Should get something from Isaac. From Isaac, okay?
Oh, okay.
Did you just get it? I just sent it right there. Cool, hey. Hey, man, absolutely, hey. God bless, brother. Stay strong, alright? It'll get better.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, hey, everyone. Now we shall see if he actually uses that money for a hotel. We'll never know. I'll never know if he uses that for a hotel, or if he just goes on his merry way and buys drugs with it. I'll never know. But the least we can do is try, you know? It's a shitty world if I can ship 20 bucks somewhere. To maybe make it a little bit better. Hey, fuck it, it's worth a try. And that's coming from someone who's unemployed right now, who doesn't have a consistent paycheck, so. That was super unplanned too, holy shit. Well, time on deck is 8 p.m. and I'm just not popping 3. Just spent about 30 minutes looking for a port to plug my ring light into. I can't find one. Can't find a single box in my house out of the USB. Is this dumb taking pre at 8 o'clock? Yes, I've done it many times before and I'm willing to suffer the consequences, okay?
I ain't cheating like I used to. I hope that's enough. I hope that's enough. I hope that's enough. Lord, forgive me, I ain't all of your plans and plans. When I was there, there was enough blood on my hand. Oh, like I'm trying to find it, like. And I ain't drinking like I enough. I hope that's enough. And I ain't cheating like I used to. I hope that's enough. I hope that's enough. I hope that's enough. What have I got? What have I got?
Hey Isaac, a cross promise is a promise kept, right? I've caught a couple of your videos since you got out, and it looks like you are adjusting well. Last night I opened Instagram and saw you talking about your faith. I knew the time was now to send you a couple crosses. Thank you so much for being willing to use your platform to bless Rugged Cross Artworks. At this time, I've decided to keep this ministry local. The crosses are free and shipping takes money. I'm always looking to expand the ministry though. If you're willing, we should do a call sometime. Sorry my writing sucks. Steve Maher, I think, Captain USMC. Captain in USMC. Now you're sending me stuff. Tide to turn. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't gotten back to him yet. I'll get back to him after I finish filming the scene. Hope you guys can even see me. Had a guy reach out to me on Instagram quite a few months ago. I'm pretty sure from the Quantico, Virginia area, and he does crosses, little wooden crosses. And he had talked about sending me some, putting them in a video. This is not a sponsorship, by the way. This is just, he sent me these out of his own courtesy, and I just love what he does. I mean, like I said, I've become a lot closer with God, step up in my faith, and be a better follower of Christ. And just stuff like this is so cool, and these are so neat. I've had him sit on my desk for the past week. I'm actually gonna give out one of these to someone I know, and then keep one for myself. But it's cool because it's like a little wooden cross that they make, and they come with a verse on there and a prayer, which I think is just so cool. And he says he's doing it for completely free, which is just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. So Steve from Rugged Cross Artworks, thank you so much. I'm gonna call you after this, and if there's any information that he gives me, I'm gonna put it in the link in the description below. So if you guys are local to them, you guys can reach out, and if you guys want one of these your guys' sells, by all means. I just love this stuff. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So cool, so cool. Yep, ruggedcrossartworks@gmail.com. If you want yourself one of these, go ahead and shoot him an email. Thank you so much. Just one of the coolest gifts that I've been given by a subscriber, by someone that watches the channel. Sorry I look so chopped, guys. Also, I know that scene was horrible. I didn't just watched it back, but there's the cross. Steve's so cool. Like, I've had these sitting on my desk for about a week now, and I'm just not really looking at them. I'm just like, these are just so cool. Makes me feel warm in the heart. If you guys ever want to send me anything, I used to have a P.O. box. I don't think it's active anymore, and if it does, I don't have the key. So just reach out to me on Instagram or Gmail. I don't want to say I'll send you my address, but I'll send you a place where you can send stuff that I can pick up. So. All right, guys, important message. Okay, so editing this video a week after I filmed it. Over the weekend, something really bad happened. One of my buddies from my old Unit 2-1, Foster, as I would call him, Taekwon Foster, he passed away this weekend. Tragically, this is one of the first people that I was deployed with and like operated with and like knew that has taken his life after the Marine Corps. It's tragic, it's devastating. He was one of the brightest souls, one of the most amazing human beings I've ever met. I mean, every person that's ever met him, like, can give you a Foster story. I mean, the dude was just hilarious. He was an awesome dude. And I want to do my part. I want to get the word out there. There's been a GoFundMe opened up by one of his old seniors, I believe, from Echo Company, raising money for his family, to support his family with the funeral expenses and everything else. So I'm gonna put the link for the GoFundMe at the top of the description below. If you guys are able to or have the ability to donate any kind of money, please do so. And then more importantly, just have Foster and his family in your prayers, and just reach out to somebody, reach out to your brothers in arms. If you know someone who has been quiet lately, or it seems like they're going through it, just ask them, because Foster was one of the most bright human beings, you know, I've ever met. And granted, I wasn't like as close as a lot of other people were with him, but I was still like dope, like just an awesome dude. Like, we DM'd each other just like a month ago. And I'm pretty sure he watched some of the videos and stuff, but just a really great dude. So never would I have thought that he would be the one to go first. So it's tragic, it's sad. So reach out to somebody and then chip in if you can, and just pray for him and his family. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna show a couple pictures of him here, and then just put the link on the screen as well, and then do what you guys can do to help him out. So yeah. Check on somebody. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.